Musical Monday morning. Happy Monday, oh, make it a fun day. Sorry about that. Alex put me up to it. You've been rickrolled. Anyway, enough of that foolishness. Today, bringing you another Musical Monday morning, and I'm going to go a little bit more into my dramatic side. Last week you heard The Impossible Dream. Today I'm going to go one step further into a musical based on an 1862 French novel by Victor Hugo. And of course we're talking about Les Miserables. So it was, as I mentioned, a novel by Victor Hugo. And in 1980, a gentleman by the name of Alain Boublil made it a French concept album, which became a stage version in September of 1980. Ran about 100 performances. But anyway, Boublil got the idea from, he saw a London version of the musical Oliver, and he saw the Artful Dodger in the show, and thought back to the novel and realized how similar the Artful Dodger was to the spunky Gavroche in Les Mis. And he thought about the rest of the cast, and the rest was history. So it was originally written in French, as I mentioned, in 1980. In 1983, Cameron Mackintosh, after having about 6 months of success with the musical Cats, he decided to transplant it into London into a full-blown musical. And in 1985, October, it was opened up in London, and it is still running to this day. The original London production. They were off for COVID, but as of September of 21, they have resumed performances and is still booming and popular. Now, when it came out in London, October of 1985, it was condemned by literary scholars because they believed that this should not be a stage musical for such a classic work. But the fans and the crowd said otherwise, and wonderful musical. So in March of 1987, the London musical was adapted for Broadway and opened up. And that season was nominated for 12 Tony Awards and won 8 out of the 12. 75%, not too bad. And that includes Best Musical and Best Original Musical Score. Unfortunately, it closed in 2003, so it didn't last on Broadway. Had a couple revivals, but it overall closed in 2003 with about 6,700 performances. And at that time, the only one ahead of it was Cameron Mackintosh's other musical, Cats. Now, I apologize. Usually I have these facts over the top of my head, but I have a cheat sheet in front of me. At this point, Les Mis is number 6 for all-time performances. Can you guess the top 5? Well, I'm going to tell you. Number 1, with 13,500 performances, Phantom of the Opera. And it's still going strong to this day. Number 2 was the Revival of Chicago, about 9,800 performances. Number 3, The Lion King with 9,500. Number 4 was Cats, that ended up with about 7,500. And number 5 is currently Wicked with about 7,000 performances. And like I said, Les Mis is number 6 with about 6,700. So, you wonder where I'm going with all this. It was also made into a movie in 2012. Hollywood got a hold of it and was masterfully recreated by Hugh Jackman in the lead role of Jean Valjean. Of course, you know, Hugh Jackman is currently on Broadway with Sutton Foster in the Broadway revival of Meredith Willson's The Music Man. More on that next week. Hint, hint, spoiler, spoiler. Anyway, in Les Mis, in the second act, among all the barricade fighting, Valjean tries to protect Marius, and as Marius sleeps, Valjean sings to God for Marius' protection, even if Valjean loses his life saving Marius. So he sings the wonderful song, Bring Him Home. God on high, hear my prayer. In my need, you have always been there. He is young, he's afraid. Let him rest, heaven blessed. Bring him home, bring him home, bring him home. He's like the son I might have known if God had granted me a son. The summers die one by one, how soon they fly on, and I am old and will be gone. Bring him peace, bring him joy. He is young, he is only a boy. You can take, you can give. Let him be, let him live. If I die, let me die. Let him live. Bring him home. Bring him home. Bring him home. Thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of your Monday. Have a great day. God bless you all.